these bandits have not wreaked havoc. And the fact that you, Mr. President, is Fulani, is actually your biggest asset, which you are not exploiting. You're supposed to come out
foaming at the mouth.
Wonderful. I just told you that things I can do in my house today, despite I'm my father's son, his eldest boy, he will disown me because he knows he will never stand for that. But when you are keeping quiet, you're laid back about it. It means you are probably the sponsor or you are the sponsor. Those are the only two options. And that's why I say I'm trying to battle with aligning it. Now, coming to security, I find it difficult to understand how I, having sworn to oath to defend this land, needs my commander to tell me to swing into action when people are being slaughtered. Except, of course, if my commander is behind the action. I would rather swing into action and secure what I call normalcy. Then you can fire me. I'll go home with glory and pride. So I cannot understand it. And it's all not, I'm trying to identify what exactly, it's not adding up. Having done that, we come again to the communities. These communities are not difficult places to hold if you understand what intelligence is. We used to have a situation, I recall a former Defense Intelligence Agency boss who actually took intelligence to the grassroots. Intelligence is not meant for the hallowed offices of Abuja complexes. You have to take it to the grassroots. If you can get intelligence from the grassroots, then there is no way, there is no inch of land that will be occupied by these people, and you will know. Even those who tend to taunt the Fulanis to attack, you are going to get to them because you have a presence at the grassroots. Our law enforcement agencies have no presence in the grassroots. If you want it, if you want to observe what I'm saying, just try to travel. The farther you go from the state capitals, the closer you are to wilderness. Yes.
Now, Mr. Ote, some people have remarked that this may have some ethnic or religious coloration. And we heard the president of Togo say yesterday that they have problem with herders in Togo, they have them in Benin Republic, Ghana, Ivory Coast. So he says it is not ethnic and it is not religious. So in our context, what does it seem to be? Is it just about land grabbing?
Well, I don't know whether the issues are about land or about cattle or about rustling. You know, and I don't know whether anyone knows either, because the government basically uses the same template on every situation. But you see, I think we can look at it from the failure of justice, the failure of accountability, you know. I think we've largely given the government a free pass. Each time these things happen, like he said, we just do the, you know, go through the formal ceremonies, and that's all. Go through the motions and everybody moves on. But I think it's important for us to say now, let's see whether we can hold our government responsible. As the Constitution says, Section 14(2) says that the primary purpose of government is for the security and welfare of the people. Government is not delivering that security, that duty, that obligation. And so we've got to then say, how do we get the government to be accountable to the people in this wise? We are not doing that. And then also, we need to also look at questions of justice from the issue of victims. You've talked about, you know, there are civil aspects of it. I think, you know, at this point, I really wished that we could get to that point where communities affected by these kinds of genocide will come together and say, look, we ain't going to take this anymore. We're going to, like, fight for our rights. We're going to, like, take government to court, see that the court establishes the duty of government to safeguard us, which it's not doing or not doing in the ways it should do. And then there's criminal accountability. Again, that's been extremely low. And this is actually likely to be very dangerous for our country, because a while ago you heard that about 6 people were sentenced to death for the killing of a herdsman. And then you've had all these herdsmen killing people, and you don't hear that one herdsman has been sentenced to death. So these issus of injustice, it's like the Sharia the Shiite situation. You have, over 200 people being prosecuted for the death of one soldier, and you have no soldier prosecuted for the death of over 300 people. That's injustice.
We've completely run out of time. I do apologize. We have to just go now. We have been chatting. We don't even have time to take your last thoughts. We had Yakubu Pamgam, Chairman Middle Belt Forum FCT chapter, who joined us from Abuja, Joseph Ote, Director, Access to Justice, and retired Captain Umar Aliyu, a security consultant. We did not even scratch the surface of this topic at all, but that is the nature of television. We'll be right back after this break.
Don't go away.